Kent State played their first game of the tournament Friday, but can they continue to dance and beat Indiana?
And with March Madness underway, we'll break down who won big over the weekend.
Finally, the Cavs look to take care of business against the Wizards. Do they get the luck of the Irish on St. Patrick's Day? Find out and more as Sports Corner starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner. I'm Matt Mergen.
And I'm Liv Sharp. The Kent State men's basketball team achieved their goal of making it to the NCAA tournament, but they didn't want their season of dreams to end.
They squared off against the fourth-ranked seed in the region, the Indiana Hoosiers. So will Kent State hang around and even pull off the upset? Let's go to Albany, New York and find out. Number 13 seed Kent State taking on the number 4 seed Indiana Hoosiers. We go to the second half. Race Thompson hits the catch and shoot three to give Indiana a 9-point lead. Hoosiers controlled the game early in the second half. Trace Jackson Davis brings the ball up the floor and goes to the post against Chris Payton. Drop step inside, and the Hoosiers take a 14-point lead as Jackson Davis gets that one to go. Kent State now on offense. Malik Jacobs with a nice inside bounce pass to Chris Payton for the slam. Payton with 10 points in the game for Kent State. Kent got it within 10, but then Indiana started creating separation once again. Jackson Davis' shot off the spin won't fall, but Race Thompson was there for the put-back jam. Indiana's offense started getting it going. Jackson Davis attacked the paint all game, and he puts Hornbeak on a poster with this slam. 24 points and 11 rebounds for him as he led all scorers in the game. Malik Jacobs was the do-it-all guy for Kent in this game. Finding open teammates as Von Cameron Davis knocks down the catch-and-shoot three from the top of the arc. Davis with 10 points for the Flashers in this game. Hoosiers on the fast break now. Trey Galloway throws a lob to Jackson Davis, who puts it in to extend Indiana's lead back to 12. Kent State put up a fight, but it was the Indiana Hoosiers who took this one. They would go on to win 71-60 against the Golden Flashers and advance to play Miami in the next round of the NCAA tournament.
Listen, I know it's late or early, however you look at it. You know, obviously disappointed in how our season ended here tonight. Lost to a very good team, and give Indiana a ton of credit. They played, you know, really hard and played well. And obviously disappointed in how it ended for us because, you know, it was a bad night for us to have a bad night, and it wasn't for a lack of effort at all. It just, you know, shots didn't fall. There were a lot of 4-point swings that we miss a layup, they get a 3, or we miss a layup, they get a layup. Just too much for us to overcome, and it's obviously disappointing with how it ended, but, you know, an unbelievable season for sure.
Now shifting things to the women's team, Kent State competed in the WNIT against Syracuse on Wednesday and fell in the first round 84-56 against the Orange. The Orange made 5 of their first 7 shots to go, up 15 at the media timeout, and did not look back since. Senior Katie Shoemate led Kent with a double-double, recording team highs of 18 points and 11 rebounds. Kent State finishes the campaign with 21 wins, the most since 2006.
Due to renovations being made to Divine Diamond, Kent State's softball team traveled to Baldwin-Wallace in Berea over the weekend to play a scheduled 3-game homestand against Ball State. Friday saw a doubleheader that saw Kent State win and lose a game, with Saturday's showdown being postponed due to cold weather. Redshirt junior Alexandria Whitmore was the hero as she roped a walk-off double to lift Kent State to a 4-3 win in Game 1, but Ball State woke up the bats up in Game 2 to take down the Flashers 15-9. The softball team will hit the road as they will travel to Columbus to take on Ohio State tomorrow and then go to Akron for a 3-game series with the Zips.
From one diamond to another, Kent State baseball had themselves a winning week as they took down Lake Erie College at home 7-0 and swept Canisius College in 3 games to bring their winning streak to 13 games. The offense was a driving force for the Golden Flashes as they outscored their opposition 56-9 in their last 4 games. Looking ahead, the Flashes will ride the Turnpike to square off against the Pitt Panthers on Wednesday before heading to Central Michigan for a 3-game weekend series against the Chippewas.
Kent State's lacrosse team lost to Lindenwood yesterday by the score of 18-13. Senior Kenzie Schuyler got a hat trick as she led the team in goals, and junior Jackie Wolford got 5 back-to-back goals consecutively. Wolford also had 7 goals in the match, and tied the program's single-season goal record. Looking ahead, the Flashes will host their arch rival, the Akron Zips, on Saturday, April 1st.
On to golf, the Golden Flashes placed 4th in the Florida State matchup over the weekend. Micah Hoogbaum finished 7th after carding 8 birdies throughout the tournament. Nora Mulnushela and Jennifer Gu joined Hoogbaum in the top 25, with Nushela placing 15th and Gu placing 21st. Kent State will be in the Clemson Invitational starting on Friday.
Let's go to the mats now, as the Golden Flashes had national representation in the 2023 NCAA Wrestling Championship with graduate student Jake Ferry. Ferry was seeded 23rd, but after facing 10-seed Brandon Courtney from Arizona State and 7-seed Brandon Kaler of Oregon State, Ferry finished his Kent State career as a 2-time national qualifier and has 106 victories. That ties him for 6th all-time here at Kent State.
What's up, Portage County? I'm Della Fowler, and we're here talking all things Kent gymnastics after their appearance in the MAC championship.
The MAC Center was booming with noise, according to head coach Bryce Biggin, as the Kent State gymnastics team hosted the MAC championships this Saturday, placing 3rd behind Ball State and Central Michigan with a score of 196.175.
The crowd and the energy that they brought to our team was absolutely incredible. I could not be more proud of our alumni, the way they showed up in droves and the noise that they made. It was just so gratifying for me as a coach, and I think for our team as a team too.
Although the Flashes fell to Central Michigan, several stars emerged, like senior Rachel DeCavich taking 2nd in the overall competition score.
Feels good knowing that I can have these routines and be someone on the team that my teammates can count on and just carry confidence for each event.
The future is bright for the Flashes, according to head coach Bryce Biggin, as several underclassmen posted big scores, including freshman Nastya Rutenskaya, who posted a 9.900 on the bars.
It was so gratifying to watch her mature and just come into herself and really just continue to grow in her confidence. This is truly what we were hoping for her to do today, and so I am so proud of her and the job that she's done.
Despite the loss, the Flashes are hungry for success in the individual NCAA regional competitions and are hopeful to take home a win in the MAC championships next year.
But I think if we start off strong like that, then we'll have a chance at making regionals and just showing the MAC and what they're more of, and definitely winning this tournament next year. We need to.
So Della, by now we know how the cards fell in the MAC championship, but why do you think that is?
Now, Central Michigan possesses a unique combination of experience and spunky youth. They have Luciana Alvarado-Reed, who is only a freshman, but she literally competed in the Olympics. And Hannah Demers, who's won all kinds of MAC awards and had a fabulous championship meet. And they're really strong on bars, and the fact that they got to start on that is what gave them the momentum to keep it going and win.
Though there were some young starters putting up big numbers for the team. Can you talk about their impact?
Yeah, absolutely. The youth is huge on this team. I mean, Nastya Rudenskaya putting up that 9.9 on the bars is what propelled Kent to get into the position where they could possibly chip away at that lead, steal it, and come from behind. Now, the results obviously don't show that. We know the Flashes didn't win, but it would have been a lot harder to get to where they did if they didn't have such a successful underclassman providing the depth to their team that really has made them successful all season.
Well, unfortunately, this season of gymnastics is done, but what is up next for the Flashes?
Now, we're certainly not done with the season quite yet. Alyssa Guns, Carly Franz, and Rachel DeCavich are going to travel to Oklahoma on next Wednesday to compete in the individual NCAA regional competition. Now, if they place in this, they will compete for a national title, and we are so excited to see how they turn out.
Thank you, Della. When we return, the madness of March was in full force over the weekend. Our own Alex Isaiah is in studio to break it all down.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
sing.
And Tommy can't dance.
So we're gonna put some ants in their pants.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, singing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. I'm Alex Isaiah, and for the second time, a 16 seed has taken down a 1 seed in the tournament as Fairleigh Dickinson Knights beat Purdue. So can they keep their Cinderella story alive against FAU, who took down Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers? Let's go to Columbus to find out. We have start things off with FAU taking on Cinderella 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson and Knights
16.
And Alex, with the Sweet 16 finally set, what do you think will be the biggest matchup?
Well, I look at UCLA and Gonzaga as the biggest matchup in the Sweet 16. Everyone knows about the last time these two teams played in the tournament, and that ended with a Jalen Suggs half-court game winner. And this game has a few of the same familiar faces from that game. You have Drew Timme versus Jaime Jaquez, but this time I think Tiger Campbell, the senior, will make the difference in this game for UCLA. The experienced guard is so well at facilitating, and he has 17 assists in his last 2 games in the tournament. In his game against Northwestern, he was perfect from the free throw line, proving to be the difference, and he is vital to UCLA's success.
Well, we're 2 rounds into the tournament so far. What has been the biggest surprise?
Well, I think the biggest surprise is obviously 15-seeded Princeton making their Sweet 16 appearance, first Sweet 16 appearance in 1967, and after their first 2 games, they showed just how versatile they are. They grinded out their first game against Arizona, where neither team made it to 60, and then scoring 78 over Missouri. No big stats pop out for this team, but they play good, disciplined basketball, averaging only 8 turnovers in the last 6 games. The smart team basketball is poised to threaten an upset against 6-seeded Creighton.
And what team in the Sweet 16 do you think deserves a little more attention and is flying under the radar?
I think the UConn Huskies deserve a lot more attention. As a top 5 offense and top 20 defense, this team relies on their depth and is why they dominated both their opponents, 24 against Iona and then 15 against St. Mary's. Their star, Adama Sanogo, is arguably the most impactful performer in the tournament this far. He scored 52 points and 21 rebounds in the first 2 games, shooting 24 for 33. This combination will prove to be a tough out, and they could be a real contender to play in the championship game.
Alex, thank you so much. Well, the World Baseball Classic is almost headed to the finish line. Who will compete for the chance to win it all? Find out when we return.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Homemade noodles. Marty, stop it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It reminds me, I've been thinking maybe we should try a new form of birth control. I heard about this one, it's called the IUD, intrauterine device. Or we could try the patch on your arm. Actually, I think that one goes on your butt.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think then? Arm or the butt?
Welcome back to Sports Corner. The World Baseball Classic has now moved to Miami, and the tournament is starting to heat up. The action we go. USA and Cuba in the semifinals. Despaigne gets walked, and Cuba gets a run on the board before there's even a single out in this game. Now it's Goldschmidt up to bat. He smashes this ball way out into left field. That's a 2-run homer, and the USA now has a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first. Elias on the mound, but watch out, it's America's hero, Trey Turner. He's gonna destroy this ball. That is another homer for the man from Philly. We head to the bottom of the third. Alonso up to bat. He gets a single out to right field, and that's going to score Nolan Arenado. Team USA is up 4-2-1. Now it's Chi-Town's own Tim Anderson. He's going to get in on the action with a sac fly. That'll send the Schwarbomb. Kyle Schwarber himself send him home. Cuba has no answer to the U.S.'s dominant offense. Hey, remember Nolan Arenado? Yeah, he's going to rip this triple back into right field, and the U.S. scores again. Can they be stopped? Guess what? No, they cannot. Last play here, Goldschmidt is going to take a page out of Arenado's book. He'll send this one deep into right field. That one's going to score Alonso. And watch out, man. Jeff McNeil is coming in hot. He's going to slide home safely. And the U.S. will get a 9-2 win over Cuba, punch their ticket to the finals. Japan is down 3-0 to Mexico.
We got Puerto Rico taking on Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. We are going to go to the top of the first inning. Emmanuel Rivera hits this one into right field. It's going to be caught by, but Enrique Hernandez will score to put Puerto Rico on the board first, and they were far from done in the first inning of this game. Javier Baez, he's going to be the next one to step up to the plate, and he's going to crush this one out to right field, and he homers to score 2 runs and claim a 3-0 lead in this game. They would continue to add on to their lead. Eddie Rosario is going to step up to the plate, and he homers past center field. Rosario and his team celebrate their commanding 4-0 lead in this game. Mexico trailing in the bottom of the second. Isaac Paredes will get Mexico on the board as he hits a home run to left center field. This makes the score 4-1 as Mexico strikes. Puerto Rico would hold that 4-1 lead until the bottom of the fifth. Alex Verdugo at bat, he singles to center, and Alec Thomas is going to score. Mexico gets this game back within 2 runs. We're going to go to the bottom of the seventh. Mexico is battled back as Paredes, he's going to hit a single to left field. This scores 2 more runs for Mexico. Verdugo slides into third, and Mexico has tied this game back up at 4 apiece. After trailing 4-0 in the first inning, they were rolling. Julio Urias singles to right, scoring Verdugo. Mexico takes their first lead of the game, leading 5-4, and they would close it out in the ninth. Mexico comes back down 4-0 early and wins against Puerto Rico. In the World Classic Baseball, there's been this debate whether MLB players should play in the World Classic due to the risk of injury. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I mean, we talked about this a little bit off air, and I think we're kind of the same opinion that injuries can happen at any time. I mean, injuries could happen in spring ball. Heck, injuries could even happen on opening day. And I just don't think that the fear of injuries is a big enough reason to keep people from competing in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, this only happens once every 4 years. This is the Baseball Olympics. And for people who think that they shouldn't play in the World Baseball Classic, would you say the same thing about basketball players playing in the Olympics? I don't know. But my only kind of point to that is if they're coming off of an injury or they've recently had surgery, you shouldn't push your luck and play. For instance, like Jose Ramirez, he just had his thumb surgery a few months back. No way he should be playing.
It is devastating to see these injuries, but I just don't think you can keep the players out of playing in the World Classic Baseball. I mean, I get it, they're pros, and if you're management, I would understand your concern about your professional athlete getting hurt in these games.
Right.
But you really can't stop these guys from playing for their country. They're playing for something more than just their major league team. And if they want to do that, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't allow them to do that.
Absolutely.
And from the boys of summer to the boys of fall, let's now swing it over to our own Ryan Shanko for his deep dive.
Matt, I like that. That's pretty good. All right, yeah, like he said, I'm Ryan Shanko, TV2 NFL Draft Analyst, and as the clocks jump forward, we not only get closer to spring, but another season comes into bloom. That's right, it's mock draft season. As we draw ever closer to that NFL draft, it's time to start thinking about who's going to go where. We've seen a lot of changes in the draft order over this last week or so, including the Bears moving down from number 1 to number 9, with the Panthers who move up to number 1 to presumably get their guy at the quarterback position. So let's jump into my top 10 projected picks as of today. Like I just said, the Carolina Panthers traded a huge haul to the Bears to get the number 1 pick. They traded 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and wide receiver DJ Moore to the Bears for that first pick. And I think they're going to go all out. They're going to go for that boom or bust prospect. So put in Anthony Richardson to the Panthers. They're going to try to recapture that Cam Newton magic that they got when they drafted him a few years back. At number 2, like I've been saying for months now, the Texans love Bryce Young. They love that he's a surefire prospect, that he's going to be that guy. He's ready to play day one. The Texans are sick of losing, so they're going to go ahead and take Bryce Young out of Alabama. Who cares about his height problems? It's not really a big deal. At number 3, the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals just hired Jonathan Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator. So why would their first pick under Gannon not be a defensive player? Give them Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama. And plus, Cardinals need to sell some tickets this year. They're not going to have Kyler Murray. They need somebody to sell as a person to come and watch in Phoenix. Now, number 4, the Colts. They didn't get Anthony Richardson. They didn't get Bryce Young. But who they do get, C.J. Stroud. Okay, it's important to not scout the helmet when you're watching an Ohio State quarterback. I know there's kind of been a rough patch with Ohio State quarterbacks not being the guy in the NFL. I think C.J. Stroud's going to break that cycle. I think he's going to be a great pick at number 4 for the Colts. At number 5, the Seahawks. They got the Broncos pick from the Russell Wilson trade, and they take another Wilson at number 5. They take Tyree Wilson, a 6'6", 275 edge from Texas Tech. He's a safe pick. He's going to be able to make an instant impact, and I think the Seahawks love that. Now moving on to the 6th overall selection. The Detroit Lions lucked into being able to pick Christian Gonzalez. If you guys watched my deep dive on him a few weeks ago, you know I'm crazy about this guy. I think he's Jair Alexander if he was 6'2", 200 pounds. So the Lions get a lockdown corner at number 6. I think he's the 3rd best player in the draft, so it's actually a steal. Now going to number 7, the Raiders. They just signed Jimmy G, perfect bridge player as they wait for Will Levis to develop. I think Levis has all the tools. He's big, he's got a big frame, big arm. He's going to be able to be a great NFL quarterback. He just needs a little time to develop, and sitting behind Jimmy G gives him that time. At number 8, the Falcons. They're going to go ahead and pick Devin Witherspoon. He's another sure thing at the corner position. I think he's the 2nd best cornerback in this draft coming out of Illinois. And I think Falcons fans should be really happy to get A.J. Terrell some help on the back end. At number 9, the Bears finally picking after trading down from number 1. They're not afraid that Jalen Carter maybe didn't do so well at his pro day. They're still going to take the Georgia defensive end at number 9, and they're going to be really happy with what they get from him because he's still the best player in the draft, according to me. And then at number 10, the Eagles. After a Super Bowl run, they still get to pick in the top 10. They're going to take Peter Skoronski from Northwestern as they prepare for life after Lane Johnson. And in my perfect world, this is how the top 10 picks should go. Thanks for sticking around. I've been Ryan Shanko, TV2 NFL Draft Analyst, and I'll see you next week, 1 week closer to the return of the NFL.
Thanks, Ryan. We appreciate it. When we come back, TV2's very own Noah Keeney is here to take us around the association.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. To motivate some magic, to change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. Book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
What's up, Portage County? I'm Noah Keeney. The Cavs are continuing their playoff push, and on Friday they hosted Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. Let's now head to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse to see how it all went down. Early here in the first, we got Bradley Beal suiting up to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland with the drive. He's going to find his man, Donovan Mitchell, but he doesn't want that three. He's going to slam it down all the way and get the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on their feet. 8 minutes here in the first. Bradley Beal looking for a little crease to get to the rim. It's going to be blocked by Mobley, but it doesn't matter. What a putback to keep the Wizards within 3. Now, Donovan Mitchell with the ball looking for the drive. He's going to be held. It doesn't matter. That's too easy. He's a superstar, and they need to start respecting that. Late here. Now in the second. We're going to get a 3 ball. It is going to be good to keep the Wizards within striking distance. They cut the lead down to 6. 9 minutes now. A steal by Caris LeVert, and they're not going to catch that man. He slams it down with 2 hands, dying down the Wizard bench, making them to call a timeout. Cavs up by 15. Mitchell, beautiful smooth. Another and one. What can this guy not do as a Cleveland Cavalier? Now down 11. Wizards needing something here. They're going to get a beautiful pass from Beal and a nice little floater from the free throw line. In transition, Cavs got numbers by 2. It's going to be Lamar Stevens with a layup, and he gets it, and another foul. The Wizards can't stay out of foul trouble late here in the third. LeVert's going to have a beautiful pass, and Mobley, my favorite NBA player, slams it down late here in the fourth. Cavs putting it away, a little dump off, and Garland will finish that. The Wizards would lose this one 94-117. The Cavs trying to hold on to that 4 seed.
Great win for the Cavaliers. So Noah, what has been the biggest surprise for this Cavs team as of late?
The biggest surprise, you ask? It's got to be no other than Caris LeVert. The emergence of him has been insane. He has been everything they've wanted since they traded. Now, earlier in the season, he was not good. I was calling for him to be traded. Everyone was calling for him to be traded. But over these past couple months, he has really wowed me, especially if we look at what he was doing in February. Caris LeVert was averaging 6.8 points per game in February and just shooting 40% from the field. In these 9 games in March, 14.1 points per game and shooting nearly 50%. He's been great off the bench. He's doing his job. He's not getting overwhelmed, but he's finally stepping up after all those trade rumors are finally gone.
Noah, in your opinion, if the Cavs were to draw the Knicks in the first round, considering the Knicks' hot streak, do you think it would be a favorable matchup for them or not?
I think it would be. It'd be very dangerous, but the Knicks are playing at an absolute fire level. They're on a tear right now, and they could beat us easily. They're 7-3 in their last games, and they're not playing bad teams. They've beaten the Bucks, the Celtics, the 76ers. At Boston, they beat them. It was a beautiful double overtime game. If they can stay healthy, there's no reason that every Cavs fan should not fear the Knicks, and hopefully we don't see them go out in the first round.
I agree. I definitely think it'll be a tough matchup for the Cavs. Now let's go around the association. The Lakers taking on the Magic. Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Paolo Banchero, all getting ready for action in the NBA. Lakers up midway through the second quarter. The ball is going to end up in the hands of Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder hits the corner 3 to extend the Laker lead. Schroeder had 12 points in this game. Great ball movement by the Lakers. Paolo Banchero, he led the way for the Magic, hits the layup inside to cut the Laker lead. 21 points for Paolo in this game late in the second quarter. Austin Reeves drives down the middle, and Jared Vanderbilt comes in for the alley-oop slam. Reeves getting it done for the Lakers. 6 assists in this game. Magic cut the lead back down to 1, but Reeves wasn't letting this game slip away. And 1 for him. Lakers up 7. Franz Wagner throws up the floater, plus the foul. The free throw, it wouldn't fall for him, but Goga Bitadze would get the putback to go to end the third quarter. Los Angeles up 2 with 5:30 to go. Austin Reeves, pull-up jumper plus the foul. Reeves ended the game with 35 points, carrying the Lakers in this game. He was on a mission. Reeves would close the game out, hitting the pull-up jumper to give the Lakers the lead. They would go on to win 111-105 over the Magic. Much needed win for the Lakers.
Let's take a trip out to OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going to start this game off with a rock, facing off against Booker and the Suns. Driving to the paint, he lays it up and in as he falls down. What a great shot by Shea. Plus, he has the foul. He can cut into that Sun lead. Suns up by 6. Devin Booker commanding the court. He dribbles. Look out, that's a lefty layup for Booker. That was sick. He knows it. CP3, that's Chris Paul to you folks. Dishes it out to Devin Booker, who goes under the basket for a crazy looking layup. Booker, 46 points on the night. Booker again, not a layup this time, but he's showing the fans he can bang some threes too. Now the Suns lead by 14 as the clock winds down to the third. Shea is storming down the court, gets right up against Booker. Bang! That is good. Plus the foul. Josh Giddey has the ball. He chucks this over behind his head. Aaron Wiggins going to read that one like a book. Shea's going to be the difference maker here in the fourth, though. 2 clean back-to-back jumpers and a 40-point game for him. The Thunder end up getting the win over the Suns. And watch out, they have won 4 of their last 5.
From one of the worst teams in the NBA to the best team in the NBA. Let's get to the Denver Nuggets highlights now. Jamal Murray finally recovered from those ACL injuries in the bubble. He's going to back down his man and knock an easy fadeaway. That is too easy. Jamal Murray wants another one? Why not? He's the man right now. Drains another 2 like it's nothing but net, and that's what it was. Now Jokic finds Aaron Gordon. Gordon looking, he doesn't like it. He's going to drive inside, take the contact, and the easy and 1. Count it on the floor. Not many fans at Brooklyn supporting anymore. The 2-time MVP Jokic is going to slam it in their face. Jokic again, good defense. Doesn't get it. Michael Porter Jr. slams it on Jokic's back, his own man. That is easy pickings for Michael Porter Jr. Now we go. Finally, a Brooklyn Nets highlight. Mikal Bridges with the 3, drains it. What a trade accusation it was for Kevin Durant. Jokic, he's guarded heavily, but it doesn't matter. That is why he's the back-to-back MVP. Denver running away with this one, needing one more shot to put it away. Michael Porter Jr. nails it. The Nuggets are finally healthy, still the 1 seed in the West, and they win this one 108-102.
Giannis and the Bucks at home taking on the Toronto Raptors. The Greek Freak had his fingerprints all over this game. 2-hand slam for Giannis to give the Bucks a 5-point lead. Bucks on offense again. Bobby Portis, 4-3, splash. 14 points for Bobby Portis. Bucks leading throughout the first quarter. Fred VanVleet hits the pull-up mid-range jumper to cut the deficit to 4. Raptors would go on to take the lead, but the Bucks would take it right back as Javon Carter nails the 3. He had 9 points in this game. Bucks would continue to go to Giannis, unstoppable at the rim. Triple-double for him in this game. Raptors back on offense. Fred VanVleet hits from three-point land. 23 points for Fred. Giannis finishes the third quarter strong for the Bucks with a 1-hand slam. 23 points for Giannis. Chris Middleton for the Bucks, turnaround mid-range jumper. He gets that one to fall. Middleton with 20 of his own. Both teams trading baskets as OG Anunoby hits the 3. They get within 4. Late in the fourth, the Raptors defense collapses on Giannis and he finds an open Brook Lopez for the easy layup. Bucks would pull away. 3 players for the Bucks with 20-plus points, and they go on to win 118-111.
Journey around the NBA concludes in Portland as the Trailblazers host the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard's going to start things off. He pump fakes, then he's going to do it again, and then throws the defense off their rhythm and hits the layup. Moving right along, Leonard leading the Clippers here. He takes a tough shot, gets the bucket off the glass. Now the Clippers are rolling up by 9. A Westbrook turnover. Trenton Wofford sees his chance, and one quick layup later, we are tied at 44. Westbrook swings it to Paul George outside the arc. George is going to put a defender on skates. Say it with me, folks. Bang! What a gorgeous shot by him. We jump ahead to the fourth. It's George once again. He hits a buzzer-beating 3. George had 29 points on the night. Kawhi is going to end up directing traffic here, but who better than to get a clutch 3 than himself? So he'll take the 3, take the win for the Clippers as well, and the Blazers are now on a 6-game losing streak.
And no, there was a lot of great action in the NBA, but what teams do you think are the most dangerous in the Eastern Conference?
In the Eastern Conference, for me, after these past couple weeks, I believe the 76ers have emerged themselves along with the Bucks and the New York Knicks. Although I feel like the Celtics are a very talented team and they can be up there, I like what the 76ers have right now. Let's start with them. Embiid, he's averaging over 33 points a game. That's absurd, and a lot of people are going to complain about his free throw shooting, but you can't blame a man for knowing the game. James Harden, his counterpart, wanted a trade there, 21 a game. That's easy for him. They both complement each other very well. And, you know, we have the Bucks. There's not much I need to say about them. They have the best player in the NBA, in my opinion, Giannis, who's complemented by Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton.
Well, things out west are heating up. What team do you think makes it out of it?
It's going to be a little bit of a crazy take here, but I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Clippers. I know they're currently the 5th seed in the West with a 38-34 overall record, but they're an above-average shooting team and top 5 in three-point field goal percentage. I absolutely love their lineup, their bench, and their depth. They can match up with anyone. Not only can Kawhi, as we know, lock down anyone's best player, but Paul George is still playing at an all-star level. The Clippers have 10 players averaging over 10 points per game and 5 players averaging over 15 points a game. This team can only stop itself if they continue to get injured, but I don't think that'll be the case this year. Expectations, I believe, they break through and they finally compete for a ring.
We take a look at the NBA standings as of today. Over in that Eastern Conference, the Bucks have the number 1 seed, the 76ers have the number 2 seed, the Celtics have the 3 seed, the Cavaliers holding on to that 4th seed, and watch out, here come the Knicks as the number 5 seed. We head to the Western Conference, the Nuggets are in that number 1 spot, the Kings are in the number 2 spot, the Grizzlies have fallen to the 3rd spot, the Suns in 4, and the Clippers rounding it out at number 5.
It's almost playoff time and NHL teams are trying to stay cool on the ice. We tell you who when Sports Corner returns.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
How's it going, Portage County? I'm Michael Neenan, here to welcome you back to Sports Corner as we see what's going on around the NHL. So let's jump right in, because starting things off, we have the Blue Jackets taking on the Vegas Golden Knights in Sin City. In the first period, on a Vegas power play, the puck, it finds its way to the old-timer Phil Kessel, the man with the most consecutive games in NHL history. Oh, he puts the biscuit between the nets. And in the second period, Patrick Laine passes to Eric Gunbranson, who shoots. Kirill Marchenko, he puts in the rebound to tie the game here in the second period. Oh, Yuri Patera just couldn't get his trapper on the puck. And Jack Eichel, he pulls up from Curry range and he shoots. That's his first goal of the night. And moving on, here still in the second period, Brett Howden, he shoots. And Zach Whitecloud, he tips in the rebound. Wait, let's take a look at the replay here. Shoots, and oh, he tipped it in mid-air. Wow, look at that. And the second, off the face-off, Vegas wins. Alex Pietrangelo shoots, and Jack Eichel gets the rebound, and he spins and scores. And the Blue Jackets would lose 2-7 to the Knights. Jack Eichel gets a hat trick.
We got the Vancouver Canucks and the Anaheim Ducks facing off. The Canucks get on the board first as Quinn Hughes drops off to JT Miller, who hammers one by John Gibson. They take a 1-0 lead in this game. Beautiful shot by Miller. It was a fly-by screen by Phil DiGiuseppe to throw off Gibson on this play. Overall, great movement by the Canucks to get that score. Early in the second period, JT Miller tosses one to Quinn Hughes, who dishes it to Elise Pettersson, who scores the power play goal to 2-0 Canucks in this game. Let's look at that one again. Great play by Pettersson in this game as the Canucks increase their lead. Take a look at that shot by Pettersson to score for the Canucks. Late in the third period, the Ducks trying to get on the board off the mad scramble. Troy Terry gets a puck on net, and the rebound is finished off by Ryan Strome. The Ducks cut the lead in half, but it wouldn't be enough. The Canucks would hold off the Ducks for the rest of the third period, and they will win with a final score of 2-1.
And the Washington Capitals are taking a trip up north to visit the Minnesota Wild. Let's do that hockey, folks. Capitals starting off with some tough defense. Marcus Johansson has control of the puck. He takes a shot on goal. That won't hit, but Matt Boldy's quick to scoop it up, send it home. The Wild jump out to a 1-0 lead with 1 minute down. Wild with good puck movement headed into the O-zone. Joel Eriksson Ek with the puck. He swings it to Johansson, then over to Boldy, right back to Marcus. And guess what? Boldy going for the goal. Second goal of the night in 5 minutes. Caps on offense. Rasmus Sandin tracks down the puck. He sees an open man. It's future Hall of Famer Alex Ovechkin who delivers a wicked slap shot. Jumping ahead, 10 left in the half. Matt Irwin just hanging all over Ryan Hartman, but Hartman still manages to get a shot off to Ryan Reeves near the goal. Reeves tips it in. Oscar Sundqvist takes a stumble, but Brendan Duhaime is quick to snag the puck, races past Caps defenders, and the Wild will take a 4-1 lead. And a play so nice, you gotta see it twice. Charlie Lindgren gets a mid up to try and stop it, but no dice. Take a walk on the Wild side because they are rolling over the Caps. 6 left to play. Don't look now. Boldy has the puck on the breakaway, and that's a hattie. And they're a Wild win up 5-3 over the Washington Capitals.
And Andre Palat makes his return to Tampa as the New Jersey Devils take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first period on a Tampa power play. Nikita Kucherov, he passes to Steven Stamkos. Kucherov gets it back, and he does his best Alex Ovechkin impression with that slap shot as the Lightning take a 1-0 lead. But in the second period, Jesper Bratt, he puts a spin move on Zach Bogosian, and he shoots and scores. He has 2 goals and Zach Bogosian's ankles right now. And moving on, Nick Paul, he gets hit and he coughs up the puck. Nico Hischier, he shoots and he scores. And there, the New Jersey Devils have a 3-2 lead in the second. And Tampa, they took out their goalie with an empty net. Jesper Bratt, he gets the puck, he shoots, and he scores, basically putting the game away. Jesper Bratt gets his first hat trick of his career, and the New Jersey Devils would win 5-2. They're currently 1 point away from the Hurricanes in the division.
We take a look at the NHL standings for the Eastern Conference. Over the Metropolitan Division, the Hurricanes are at number 1, Devils are at number 2, and Rangers are at 3. In the Atlantic Division, the Bruins have clinched the playoffs. They are the number 1 seed right now. The Maple Leafs are the number 2 seed, and the Lightning are the 3 seed. And the Wild Cards right now looking like the Islanders and Penguins, just like last week.
And then looking at the NHL standings in the Western Conference, in the Central, number 1 is the Stars, the Wild sitting at 2, and the Avalanche currently sit at number 3. And in the Pacific, you got the Golden Knights at number 1, the Kings sitting at number 2, and the Oilers sitting in that 3rd spot. And the current wild card positions for that side of the conference is the Kraken and the Jets. And Mike, which teams in the Eastern Conference do you think will win the division?
All right, so for the Atlantic, I have to go with the Bruins. They have an 18-point lead over the Maple Leafs. They're the best team in hockey. I mean, I really think the only way they don't win the Atlantic is if the Earth swallows them up whole. As for the Metropolitan Division, I mean, I think it's going to be the Hurricanes again. I think if we weren't seeing the Bruins be this all-time great team, I mean, the Hurricanes would be getting much more attention. They're having the best season in their franchise's history, but the Devils could sneak up on them.
So what teams do you think are going to make it out of the West?
This might be a hot take, but I think I'm going to go with the Avs for the Central Division. I don't really think any team in the West is hot right now except for the Avs. I mean, they're really not far in the standings from the Dallas Stars, who currently lead the division, but I think if the Avs keep playing the way they've been playing, I think they will take first place in the Central. As for the Pacific, right now I don't think things are going to change. I think the Golden Knights will run away with the Pacific Division, and I don't think anyone's really going to challenge them on that.
And Neenan, which team from each conference do you think will be a dark horse contender?
As for the East, I would say the New Jersey Devils are a dark horse contender. They could lose in the first round. In fact, I think most likely it will happen. But if they manage to win a playoff series, I mean, they could go all the way to the conference finals. As for the Western Conference, I think the Winnipeg Jets, they really could put together a deep playoff run. I mean, I'm not convinced by any of the division winners in the West right now. I really think it's anyone's conference out West.
Thank you, Mike. And hey, don't go anywhere. Our Men on the Silver Mountain, Mergen Minute, and Sharpest Take segments are on the other side of the break.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
You didn't give up on sex? Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedside.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. It's been another crazy week in sports world, so let's now dive into our award-winning segments to highlight some of its brightest stars, starting with the Mergen Minute. For my Mergen Minute this week, I want to talk about the Kansas State Wildcats. Kansas State took on a very successful program in Kentucky and proved a lot of doubters wrong. I'm predicting Kansas State to beat Michigan State despite how well the Spartans are playing. This Kansas team has been underrated all year and they have the weapons to get the job done, Keontae Johnson being one of them. The former Florida Gator collapsed on the floor and was stretchered off in 2020. Fast forward to now, Johnson transferred to Kansas State and has helped take a team that had many doubters to the Sweet 16. He hit one of the biggest shots of his life to put Kentucky away, and I'm excited to see just how far this Kansas State team goes.
And for my sharpest take, we are looking way forward in the future for this prediction. It is for the 2024 MAC champions, and this one hurts, guys, but I believe the Akron Zips will be the 2024 MAC champions. This hurts me too, but I think Akron is going to have a breakout year. Sure, they're losing Xavier Castaneda, which is pretty big, but they still have major players like Greg Trivell and Enrique Freeman. And I hate to bring up narratives, but you just know the Zips are going to come out with an axe to grind, and that's going to push them to success. They were a really good team this year, surrounded by other great teams, but those other great teams like Kent will be taking a step back, and I think the MAC is wide open for the taking. John Gross is hungry for another MAC title, and I truly believe they're going to get back to it. As much as it hurts to say, I think the Roo will be hopping into March Madness this time next year.
For my man on the Silver Mountain this week, I picked Tobin Anderson. And Anderson bounced around coaching staffs for over 23 years in Division II and Division III before he finally got a chance to coach at a D1 school. Fairleigh Dickinson entered the tournament as number 16 seed against number 1 Purdue, and he spoke it into existence. They took down number 1 Purdue, becoming just the second 16 seed to beat a number 1 in tournament history. They fell short in the next round of the tournament, but you can't take away from what Tobin and his team were able to accomplish. It was a long journey for Anderson to get to this point, and he definitely deserved to be the man on the Silver Mountain this week.
All right, for my man on the Silver Mountain, I mean, who else can it be other than Trey Turner? Turner has been batting like a maniac in the WBC. Clearly, that World Series loss unlocked something in him because Turner has hit a record-breaking 4 home runs, one of which was a grand slam for a comeback victory against Venezuela. Turner has been insane, and if I were a pitcher from Japan or Mexico, I would be shaking in my boots about the prospect of pitching to Turner. Matter of fact, just walk him, call it a day. I'm beyond excited to see how Turner and Team USA perform in the finals tomorrow. Here's hoping the red, white, and blue can go back-to-back. Congrats, Trey.
Thank you for tuning into this edition of Sports Corner.
Be sure to follow us on social media at TV2KSU Sports for more sports updates in and around Portage County. I'm Liv Sharp.
And I'm Matt Mergen. You hope all have a great rest of your night.
Hayden, I can't speak. Who's gonna do the commercial if I can't speak?
I mean, I think the obvious decision is that I'm going to be the voice. I am, an ex-theater major.
Whatever, an ex-theater major. I am a theater major.
I have a theater performance minor. Mine is just as important.
I bring the entertainment to this show, so go ahead.
Obviously, it should be me, because ain't nobody as fierce as I am.
Oh, no. It should be me, because I'm a freshman. And obviously, freshmen are more important, right?
No, it should be us, because we're the oldest. Exactly. And we have Andy Joe. Hello.
Everybody wait! The only voice that should end this commercial is the College Voice, Fridays at 2 p.m. Now say it with me.
Watch the College Voice on Fridays at 2 p.m. Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.